Hey, good day. It is your girl, Lachey Taylor. Thank you for coming back for another episode of the Betterism podcast. I am super excited for today because at 1 p.m., I actually get to interview my first guest, Dr. Toomey Johnson. She is a poet, a dancer, and a medical doctor. She is a medical doctor who practices holistic health, and she has been for the past 13 years. I'm super excited to have her on because we're going to be discussing women's health. I'm here an hour earlier than I planned because I forgot that I had an 8:30 a.m. dentist appointment, and I made it a goal, a 7-day challenge for me to do a live video every day here on this podcast. So I am honoring my commitment by any means necessary. I'm squeezing in the time just to make sure that I show up today for myself and for you guys. So thank you again. I tend to not get too many viewers on the live streams because I know it's early. However, you can catch the replay. And so thank you for popping in. Today, I'm going to be talking about how making good health a priority, a goal, and a plan is it starts to set the path to actually prioritizing good health, because you have to actually be intentional about it. You have to want it enough to make it a goal, and then you have to plan it out so that it is successful. Greetings, the fit model, Queen Nine. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you. You know, I am showing up today. I'm showing up for myself. I'm showing up for you guys. And it's time that all of us who have been living this life activate. It is really time that we activate our superpowers and stop hiding ourselves and really show up so that we can start changing the course of reality. We're living in interesting times. We're living in a beautiful, beautiful world. The world that we live on, the earth that we live on is like beautiful. It's magnetic, it's electrical, and it's everything that we need and want. But there is a certain element of the reality where there is just a lot of destruction. And I do believe that we have to step up. The people who were put here to help heal the earth, it really starts with healing ourselves first, though. So I am on my personal healing journey. I am on my personal healing path. And when I say healing, I know that my body is already designed and equipped to be healthy. It's already a healthy vessel, not because it's physically and right now in 100% the most perfect shape, but because it was always healthy. It was just that the programming of the mind, of my mind, from the world and the paradigm that we live in, and the programming and the conditioning that was given to us, it was because that program infiltrated our behavior, and it led us to a place where our actions were actually self-destructive. So now I am on the path of deprogramming and reversing and overturning that destructive program and reconstructing, rebuilding a new program, a new model of fruitarianism, of raw veganism, of just good health, of living food, of whole food, plant-based, non-toxic cooked meals. You know, like, I'm not of the dogmatic belief anymore. I'm not that there is one true way. I do believe there is an optimal way. However, I believe in the transition to getting there and really like setting the path and making it realistic and sustainable. So ultimately, my highest self is this person who is on the living foods at the highest capacity, high fruit based, like just eating my human specific, species specific diet. However, the road to getting there, it is my main objective to just make sure I am not consuming processed foods. Well, I'm not consuming processed drugs. I am not consuming any toxic, overtly toxic, poisonous things, putting that inside of my body. That is what my objective is as I am on my health journey. I'm not here to be the most perfect healthy eater and beating myself up in the process. However, I am very intuitive in my thinking and my behavior. And since I have started the watermelon washout, since I've started doing all fruits over 2 months ago, I have been completely raw vegan and I'm feeling amazing. I'm still purging in many ways. I'm still detoxing. I'm not 100% capacity healthy, but when I tell you that my spirit is charged up and that I feel healthier and I am healthier every single day, mentally, physically, I feel more in tuned and more aligned with my purpose. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not living in fear. I am truly and genuinely living in purpose, and using my voice. Creating this podcast has really unlocked a completely different aspect of myself, an element of myself. It has created a confidence and it has given me something to really it's given me something to really fuel myself. It lit a fire inside of me. This is something I feel like I was supposed to already been doing. Ever did something and felt so much passion while doing it? I think that this is it for me. So I'm grateful that my health journey and sharing my health journey and the way that I'm able to help people who are on their transition, who are in the beginning phases and the beginning stages of their health journey, who went through what I went through mentally, the struggle that I went through trying to maintain raw veganism, trying to stay away from and avoid the toxic, poisonous drugs that we call food, and then being really hard on myself because I wasn't able to be perfect at it. I'm grateful that I get to reach those people who are right here in this journey. I understand that my message is not for everyone. I know that there are people who are far along in their health journey, who are fully raw, who are fully fruitarian, who didn't really have the struggles on their way there because they just had a really strong why and they were able to propel forward without thinking about it. I understand that there are those who are like that, but that's not me. And I'm here to reach those people who are like that, because I want people to know that where they're at right now, they are going to get past that place. They are going to get to a place where they're going to have a magnificent relationship with food and with real food. Like they're actually going to want to love to eat what belongs inside of them, the living foods, the high vibrational foods, the fruits, the high water fruits, the mineral rich food, the foods with the biophotons and the biophotons. It's amazing how when you continuously remain in a practice of doing what's best for yourself, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much you slip up, you do gradually get better at it over time. The more you want it for yourself, you learn so much about yourself on the journey. You listen to your body more, you develop a relationship with your body more. Thank you for stopping in, Renee. I'm really happy to have you here. Mari, the creative, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for catching the live. You will get to a place in your health journey where it just gets easier. It's like anything in life. When you're new at something and you're getting good at something, when you're beginning at something, you're gonna slip up. It's like riding a bike. You're gonna fall a bunch of times. You're gonna scrape your knees. You're gonna want to give up. You're gonna think you're incapable of learning. But then before you know it, you're pedaling, and you're pedaling with no hands on the bars. And then we evolve, we adapt, we get better over time. But practice makes perfect, and you just have to keep going and keep trying, and stop having that mentality where because you did something that you've always done your entire life, now, oh, I gotta reset and start at day one. No, you just continue. You move forward. There's no such thing as making a mistake. Mistakes don't exist. Okay? The only thing that exists is experiences and evolution, evolving from the experiences. Everything that we go through, we are meant to go through, because where we are meant to be and where we are being led towards, whatever our purpose and our destiny is, we have to go through what we're going through now. We're going to have to experience every single mistake and mishap and slip up and relapse in order to get there. Alex Harris says, greetings. Fruit is the way to go, like you said, but it is a process. The dogma is tough to deal with. I love the idea of betterism or betterment. Take it easy. Yes, perfectly said. That's why I intuitively named this podcast the Betterism podcast, because it is about betterment. Because betterism is just the opposite of perfectionism. You know, it's like we are here to be better. And as you get better over time, it becomes a form of mastery. You begin to master what you have gotten better at. And then betterism becomes the perfectionism, which is ultimately just mastery. But it's like we want to start from level 0 or level 1 and already be at level 100. And because we're not at a level 100, we give up. We're hard on ourselves. We think that it's just something wrong with us, or we're incapable of doing what is best for us. You know, we fall in that victimhood trap, when in reality, it's just because we are comparing ourselves, our level 1 to someone's level 100, and we're not willing to go through, we don't have the mindset to be graceful enough and humble enough to just get through the process of level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you get through those levels, there are going to be mistakes in between because it's something we've never done. It's a reprogramming process. So we're here to learn as we go. And there is literally no other way to learn besides to, number one, you're learning something because you don't know it. So let's just acknowledge the fact that we're unaware, we don't know. But now that is why we're here, to learn. And the only way, in my opinion, to learn is to do. You have to learn by acquiring experience. Like this system that we live in, this matrix, their institutions have taught us that the best way to learn is to sit down, have books in front of us, read and memorize, and then implement. When in reality, the best way to get knowledge, acquired knowledge, is to really just do it. So instead of asking people a million questions about if fruit's good for this disease and that disease and this disease, and you done already seen every single interview known to man, you done already read all the books, and you still over here bothering people who's doing it, asking them if they know this. How about just give it a try? Stop trying to act like you care so much about being healthy that you just need to do research first to start being healthy. Meanwhile, while you're learning how to be healthy, you're actively engaging in unhealthy practices. You're doing nothing but gaslighting yourself. Just start doing it, please. And I'm not making fun of nobody who asks questions about something, but they know for a fact that when they're eating Burger King or McDonald's or Taco Bell, they know the kind of health issues they're contributing to in their body. They actually already have the health issues that they're contributing to and that they're adding on to and exasperating. Yet and still, when they pull up in the drive-through and they go and they reach for their food, when they're making their order, they're not asking, hey, does the double cheeseburger cause diabetes? You're not asking that question before you pay for it and eat it. So stop asking people who has told you they have reversed their diabetes by eating fruit. Stop asking them, hey, is this going to work for my diabetes, after they just told you it worked for theirs. Like, I don't know why that get under my skin, because it's not being asked. It's people who have resistance. They don't want to make the change because they know what they know they have to get rid of. To make a decision means that you have to completely kill the option of doing what you've always done. And that creates fear because we're emotionally attached to what we've always done, even though we know it doesn't serve our highest good. With that being said, you don't have to 100% cut off what you've always done to start for the transition. However, you should do better than what you've been doing. And that's what betterism, and that's where that comes in. So if you are the type of person who would go and stop at a fast food place to get a quick burger to feed yourself, just go to the grocery store, be more prepared, and go and get your fixings for a burger so that you can prepare it at home. Learn how to make your own bread so you're not eating their breads with all the poisons and the toxins. There's ways to consume the same thing in a better way. You don't have to cut yourself off from the experience of eating some of your favorite food, but you can most certainly enhance the experience by not putting overtly toxic things inside of your body. It's about making better choices, not perfect ones, because that's what makes it more sustainable. And just being in the simple action and in the habit of doing what's better for you, making those small steps, it creates confidence inside. And then it teaches you that, wow, I am capable of making better choices for myself. And then you start to compete with yourself and compete with the betterment that you have already created. And then it evolves over time. And that's literally you going through level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to go through the process to get to the mastery. We want to be mastery. We want to already be masters at our level 5. Like, that's just not how it works. We have to start being patient with the process of growth. Just like how we evolved into our unhealthy eating habits to the point where we devolved physically, where we deteriorated our physical vessels. Now it's time to unlearn that behavior, relearn a new one, be open to the knowledge, and then start implementing small practices and just build up on them over time. Now, I'll say this. If you are terminal, like if you have been recently diagnosed with something that is literally actively killing your body, like just in a more extreme way, go and seek out a coach, go and seek out a holistic practitioner, go and seek out someone who is like a detoxification specialist, because you don't have to be in that situation. There's so many people out here with really good knowledge, and they sell herbs, and they'll do a consultation with you and give you a herbal package. And all you've got to do is go on an aggressive detoxification program. When I say aggressive, I'm not talking chemotherapy aggressive, where they're literally putting like Agent Orange in your body, killing off all of your cells, your good and your bad cells, you're losing your hair, your skin's getting gray. Like, I ain't talking about that kind of aggressive. I'm talking about just being on nature's operating table, eating an abundance of fresh fruits. Literally, like, honestly, that's amazing. That should be easier than taking toxic poisons that's going to kill your appetite, that's going to have your skin turning, that's going to poison all of the cells in your body. Like, eat an abundance of fruit because it's hydrating enough and fibrous enough to start cleansing your gut. I mean, that I would much rather go through than taking some radiation and all that craziness. But that's just me. I'm not a doctor. So that's just my opinion. That's not a licensed opinion from a medical practitioner, but that's just my personal opinion as a person who has the experience of reversing illnesses in my body, eating fruits and raw vegetables and taking herbs. That has personally worked for me. That is less extreme than the alternative. And I genuinely believe that the body heals as long as we allow it to. It's us that gets in the way of the healing process. But making good health a priority is the start, the mental mindset change start to actually start taking the path to better health. Because for me, I was actually really mentally depressed for about 5 years. I was in a deep depression and I was like a functional depressed person. Did as much as I knew for how long I was depressed. That the length of depression was the blessing in disguise, because when I was ready to change, when I was ready to not be depressed anymore, I just wanted to be happy. I just wanted to feel love. I wanted to feel enjoyment. I wanted to feel enthusiasm. I wanted a lust for life. It was something I really wanted. I was like, I don't want to live a single day in this bed, trapped in my head, overthinking, anxious, living in fear, not able to get anything accomplished, just like like literally mobily paralyzed from my own brain. That was my life. You wouldn't have known, because nobody wears their depression. Nobody walks around acting depressed. I got on camera still and I smiled and, acted like life was good. And in reality, there were things that I was battling in the background that made my quality of life terrible, my state of my health, quality of my relationships, just a lack of friendship, a lack of going outside, always in the house, not getting enough sun. There were lots of things that contributed to my poor mental health, and I had to be intentional. I literally made it a priority. I got offline. I logged off of the internet. I got off of Facebook, everything. Um, and I said, I am making it a priority to improve my mental health. So the first thing I did was I Googled therapists. Whether or not I believe my therapist actually helped improve my mental health, that's still up in the air. But what improved my mental health was the fact that, as a person who has historically been an avoidant, anytime there are problems inside of me, I avoid them. Uh, Whenever I had health issues, I would act like they didn't exist, never went and got them checked out at the hospital. I would schedule appointments, not show up to the appointments. I was a person who just didn't show up for myself in life. When I scheduled a therapist appointment, well, I was looking for therapists and then I did consultations with them and I chose a therapist. I started paying for my therapy appointments out of my pocket. I showed up to every single appointment. I talked about what was going on in my heart. You know what? That felt productive. That felt productive enough for me to start feeling better about myself, to feel improvement in my mental health, to feel in control, to not feel like a victim to myself. So, because I made mental health a priority and started taking the steps, naturally, my mental health improved. Then I started being transparent about being on a mental health journey, talking about depression, normalizing the discussion of depression. Even though I was exposing this conversation to family members and friends and coworkers, people who know and see me every day didn't really know I was depressed. Now all of a sudden they're reaching out to me saying, "Are you okay? You talking about all this depression?" Like, because it's not normalized to talk about being depressed. These are things and aspects of ourselves we have to hide so that we don't have to put people in our business, because we have more pride than we have the desire to just feel better in our bodies and in our minds. I don't care about those people. I don't care about what they think about me, because I cared more about what they thought about me more than I cared about what I thought about myself for the longest time. Because I cared about their opinion about how I live my life. I don't care about that no more. The reason why I am so transparent and so vulnerable with my audience, no matter who's looking, is because it helps me. And I can't help you and I can't help anybody without having the capacity to help myself first. And I encourage you guys to be intentional about overcoming and fixing and resolving what haunts you every day, what ails you every day, what keeps you anxious, and what just plays over and over and ruminates in your mind. That's your spirit communicating with you. Answer the call. Do something about it. Be proactive. Andrew Sanders, if you can relate, a big virtual hug to you. And you can be proactive and you can be intentional about overcoming depression if that is how you feel. Just take some steps. I got more into journaling, breathing. You know, I used to use people, a person, as a coping mechanism. And when I didn't have that person, I had to have myself. And we have to learn how to be our own saviors. But we do also have each other, a network of people who will help us get there. Relationships are important, whether they're professional relationships or whether they are personal relationships. But just do something. Like I didn't have hobbies. Now I actually have hobbies. I do things. And now this is my most recent and most favorite hobby. Having a podcast, reaching people who can connect with me in the same way that I wished I could have connected to someone when I was going through my darkest moments. This lifestyle, the healing journey, is not just food. The mental health aspect of it is extremely important too. So I made it a goal to have good mental health. Just like right now, I have it a goal to have good physical health. You have to believe that you can have good mental health, though. You have to believe you can have good physical health, though. You have to believe you can have really beautiful relationships with people, with your family, create new friendships. I actually went out of my way to create new friendships for sisterhood because I didn't have friends that I was close to in real life that weren't online. So I actually went on an app. It was a dating app for friends. I've never done dating apps for men. Like, I'm just not that kind of a person. But it was called Bumble BFF. And I've connected with a girl there, a woman there. And we're still connected and we talk every day, mostly to this day. And we get together at least once or twice a month. And I never had that for the longest time. All of my female friendships in the past were toxic because we used to connect through drinking and smoking and partying. And when I stopped doing those things, I didn't have those friends anymore. So now I have just better quality friendships and just more intentional, just a better friendship with myself too, because it starts there. So just make it a priority to have good health. And health isn't only just physical health. Health is mental health as well. Connect with your spirit. Tap in with your God. Tap in with your Godhood. And then create a plan. Implement the plan. Give yourself grace every single day. You're not going to be perfect implementing that plan on a day-to-day basis. But being consistent doesn't mean being perfect every day. Being consistent means just showing up for yourself most of the time. So I'll end it there because I do have a dentist appointment at 8:30, which is why I started this early to begin with. Renee, thank you so much for tuning in. All Naturally Raw, thank you so much for tuning in. Andrew Sanders, thank you for tuning in. Alex Harris, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Queen Nine, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Everybody, have a wonderful day. I will be back tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. because I do not have a dentist appointment. And just also, A Game Herbal. A Game Herbal has been a game changer in my health journey. It has made it so easy for me to curb nasty cravings on my transition, on my fruit feasting. A Game Herbal gives me energy every day. A Game Herbal helps me stay focused. A Game Herbal, I'm not just telling you this to sell you something. I don't make physical money from A Game Herbal. I do have an affiliate link for A Game Herbal. L Taylor 15 for 15% off. If you get 1 month supply, I will throw in an extra 2 weeks for free. If you use the 15% discount code, extra 2 weeks for free. This deal is only good until 10:30 a.m. So if you get A Game Herbal today, right now, between now and 10:30 a.m., get 1 month supply, use my discount code LTaylor15 to get you some energy, get you some mental clarity, get some good blood circulation, improve your blood pressure, suppress your appetite. It's going to make your health journey so much easier. You'll get an extra 2 weeks. And trust me, that is great value because A Game is definitely worth it. You actually feel it physically when you consume. But I love you guys. I am out. Happy healing. Go to agameherbal.com. And I will be back again tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Love you guys. Peace.